All good? Yeah, don't worry, video will come. Don't worry, video will come. Mr. Teja, you worry about yourself. Voice is cracking as before. Again, drama started, huh? Guys, am I loud and clear? It's good. Shall we continue? Is it manageable? Are you able to focus? Original voice is not coming. But who is modifying Rabo? Right, guys. ఒకసారి మీరు కూడా లాగిన ఏంటండి అమ్మా ప్రాబ్లం ఏందో చూడండి. Yeah, tell me. IOC container allows us to keep streaming in different scopes. Yes or no? What are the possible scopes? Tell me, boss. Singleton, prototype.
This meeting is being recorded.
Response. Many scopes are there. Application, WebSocket. In standalone, how many scopes we can use? Singleton, prototype, both. Right, guys? In web applications, no, in web application, all the 6 scope. In standalone, only 2 scope. Yes or no? Because singleton prototype can be used in standalone application, also web application. The last 4 scopes only purely related to web application development. Okay, guys. Yeah, otherwise we discussed about singleton scope here. Now time has come to go for what? Prototype scope. What is that, guys? Okay. Time has come to go for prototype scope, guys. At the root scope, prototype. Is that clear, guys? Come on, everyone. Super. Always remember one thing. Prototype means not the one object, any number of objects. You call ctx.getBean 20 times 20 object. You are injecting dependent to target for 10 times 10 objects. How many objects are required? Those many objects will be created. So since it is creating new object every time when need is there, it is not keeping these objects in the internal cache, because if one object it can keep 10 objects, it's meaningless, right, guys? And no pre-instantiation for prototype scope Springer beans. Is there any pre-instantiation for prototype scope Spring? Avutunda? Yeah, meanwhile you try to understand. Singleton means one object. That one object is created very early, kept to cache and used. In prototype, what's happening? Whenever there is the new object. If a all object is created through pre-instantiation process, right? Yes. See, why is still breaking? Okay, fine. They're working on it. The engineers are working on it. Okay, engineers are working on it. Sound engineers are working on it. One word also not understand. I'm really sympathizing you, but I'm helpless now. From last 3 days, huh? Sometimes I forget my English words by listening your words, right? In 3 days. Code is required. What is need of code when everything is clearly there? Voice is not clear. 1 minute, I'll type here then. Should be okay. Should be okay now. Everyone, please respond. Problem solved. I think small issue. Oh, right. See, so again start. All feeling. Okay, I think now it should be okay. Yeah, let's not waste the time. Let's get into the subject, boss. Fine. Prototype scope. No pre-instantiation, no internal cache for this. Whenever you need a object, you ask object, it will create object. So it's quite opposite to singleton scope. Totally opposite to what? Singleton scope. Look at the point I have given. IOC container creates separate object for Spring Bean class for every ctx.getBean method call, and that Spring Bean class object. It's not Spring Boss. That Spring Bean class object will not be placed in the internal cache of the IOC container. If Spring Bean class object is state is changing time to time, or every time not fixed data. State means data, behavior means logics. You know that, right? State means data, behavior means what? Logics. If Spring Bean class object state is changing time to time, then it is recommended to take what? The scope as prototype scope. So that for every data change, new object will be created for the Spring Bean. Time to time data is changing, time to time new objects are created. In that situation, prototype scope is good or not good? Super. At the rate lazy true applicable only for singleton scope Spring Beans to disable what? Pre-instantiation or eager instantiation. Okay. Lazy true does not give any effect on other Spring Bean scope, because they are always enabled with what? Lazy instantiation. Only for singleton scope pre-instantiation is on. If you want to disable it, lazy true. Remaining means by default lazy instant. What do you mean by lazy? Until need is there, no object will be created and wasted. Until you call ctx.getBean method, until there is a need of injecting dependent to target, dependent object will not be created. Such thing is called what? Lazy. By default, except singleton scope Spring Bean, remaining all beans are having what? Lazy instantiation. Okay, I think you know servlets little bit. Servlet container is creating our servlet class object through eager instantiation or lazy instantiation. Through eager instantiation or lazy instantiation. Definitely object creation is happening through what, guys? Lazy instantiation. Until first request comes, container feels object is required, then only object will be created. Sir, I want to enable pre-instantiation on servlet component. What should I do? Anyone remember that? By default, servlet container is creating our servlet class object lazily. No, I want to see servlet container creating same object eagerly. Then what should I do? For that purpose, we have to go for load on startup. Anyone remember that? While configuring servlet, if we add a load on startup tag in web.xml or in @web servlet annotation, if we add a load on startup, okay, there also eager instantiation will come. Anyhow, right now that is not our discussion. Our discussion is on what? Spring Bean. You want to feel this one practically, guys? Come on. Are you there? Okay. Yeah, we'll take the same application, my dear. We'll take the same application and we'll see the story now. Yeah, what is there? 1102 is our part. Yeah, it is started, boss. Close everything freshly. You take everything freshly. Auto wiring scopes are there now, boss. Right. You go to S-beans. Here is my wish message generator, my dear. Come on. Yes, guys. Here. So, sir, you taught entire singleton without taking scope is equal to singleton. Not required. Default scope is singleton, right? Yes. At the rate scope, here is what? Prototype. At the rate scope prototype. Are we there, guys? Super. Wish message generator dot Java. Right. Go to main class now. Okay. Forget about printer and other stuff. Forget about printer and other stuff, guys. Okay. Done. This is about local time. No, we don't want to worry about local time. Comment this part also, my dears. Yes. I think this is the story. Generator 1, generator 2, two hash codes. What is the scope I have taken? Prototype. Fine. Click on it. Check it out. 523, 249. Two different hash codes. That means two different objects. Generator 1 is pointing to one object. Generator 2 is pointing to one object. Generator 1 double equal to generator 2. What you got? Interestingly, and how many time constructor executed? So whenever need is there, it is creating object now, boss. Whenever need is there, it is creating object or not, guy. Super. I hope you practically felt prototype scope now, boss. Same thing. On @bean also same story. Everything is same, guys. Same thing I kept over there. Check it out. Okay. Gives different hash codes. Gives false. Gives false. That's good. If the Spring Bean scope is prototype, the Spring Bean class object reference will not be placed in the internal cache of IOC container. So ctx.getPin does not find prototype scope between class object reference in the internal cache of IOC container. Hence, it creates new object for every ctx.getPin method call. Is it not interesting, Rababu? Come on. This part is clear, boss. Okay. Why it is creating new object? Because it is not keeping any object in the internal cache. So it will actually searches, not there. What it will do? New object. But it, after creating, does it keeps in internal cache? No. Next time again we are asking. Again searches, not there. Again new object. Got it, boss? Super. But this is tricky, guys. Again, he asked a few questions on internal scopes of the Spring Bean. Without asking scopes on questions on Spring Bean scope, your interview will not be completed. You answered very well. Then he will start bringing corner questions and tricky questions. Now the question is, this is very important, concentrate. I have a real singleton Java class that actually allows only one object, but I wantedly made it as a prototype scope Spring Bean. I wantedly made it as what? Prototype scope Spring Bean. Now tell me, when I call ctx.getBean for multiple time, does it give me one object or multiple objects? Huh? Does it give me one object or multiple objects? That means singleton is broken or not broken? Singleton scope is broken or not broken? How to stop that? Very simple, boss. Okay, don't let the people to create object by using what? Constructor. Make the people of singleton class creating object only through static factory method. So let them create 10 objects. Static factory method will check and create the object or not. If object is not already there, then only it creates a new object. If object is already there, it uses the existing object reference or not. So final conclusion is, if we configure real singleton Java class as prototype scope Spring Bean, and if we are allowing IOC container to create object by accessing private constructor of the singleton class, singleton scope behavior will be broken. To stop this one, okay, configure real singleton class as what? Spring Bean by enabling static factory method bean instantiation. That is purely possible when you go for @bean method, because in @bean method only you have a freedom to specify how exactly object should be created. Because if you go for component, happily container looks to use what? Zero param constructor to create the object. Yes or no, na boss? Shall we prove it practically, guys? I think now it should be okay. I think I also become a small technician now. Okay. I think some loose contact connection is there here. Hmm. Okay, that's good, guys. Now come to this place. Come to this place. I wantedly continue on. Inter class configuration will be using gathering. Decided to configure interclass will be using gathering component element. Was right? Again, problem. I think. I think again problem solved. Some loose connection is there, boss. Okay. But now I'll show one problem, guys. Control plus shift plus backward slash. Multi-line comments. Actually coming, multi-line comments are coming. My code format is disturbed now. See? All coming in single line to reduce the number of lines, right, guys? Shortcut is working, but formatting is disturbed, right? How to solve this problem? Control Z. Okay. First, let me change the settings of the Eclipse. Then I will do the same commenting. That's the one thing we have to focus first now. Right. Every day I'm postponing. Today, let me show. Preferences, general. I'll give the procedure. Don't worry. In one or other place, that procedure is documented. You will get it. Yeah. There is something called, okay, not general, formatting. What is there? There is something called formatting. Code related formatting, boss. What formatting? Code. I think code style formatter is there. Select that. So many formatters are there. You have to select what? Code style formatter. Okay, there some profile is there. You create a new profile. You create a new profile. P1 profile. Select. Once you create the new profile, here comment section is there. Expand it. In that one, enable, tell me guys, enable block commenting formatting is there, right guys? Enable block commenting formatting is there.
This meeting
Same
is being
comment, same
recorded.
thing I commenting. Control plus shift plus backward slash. Is there any disturb in the code structure? Yeah. In new Eclipse, new versions of Eclipse, this headache is coming. Whenever you try to go for multi-line commenting. Sir, that's fine, sir. What about single line commenting? Single line commenting is, there is a shortcut key. Control plus shift plus C. To enable the comment, to disable the comment. Same thing. That's why that is called toggle key. Toggle key means what? One for on, one for off. Control plus shift plus C on. Control plus shift plus C off. Okay. For multi-line comments, boss. Selected multi-lines. Control plus shift plus backward slash on. Control plus shift plus forward slash off. Forward slash. It is not toggle key. It is not toggle key, guys. Let me write those documents, guys. Okay, guys. Now tell me. For single line commenting, what is there, guys? Single line commenting. For single line commenting. CTRL off. For on off, this is there. Tell me. For multi-line commenting, multi-line commenting, multi-line commenting, backward slash. Okay, multi-line commenting on. Okay, for backward slash. Please turn off cameras. Anyone switched on camera, guys? Everyone, please switch off your cameras. Mr. Abhi, we don't want to see you. Please switch off. And everyone, please put the chat messages personal to me. Don't keep everyone mode. It will disturb others to listen the classes. Right, guys. Sir, turn off yourself. Okay. Mr. Mr. Varun, my camera will be in switch off mode. Remaining people will be in switch off mode. Is that clear? And without having this common sense, you completed engineering and attending Spring Boot and microservices? Worst fellow. Right. Or English problem to express your opinion. Okay, guys. What is block commenting problem? Block commenting format problem and how to solve that problem. Okay, now it should be okay. Yeah. From last 2 3 days, things are not happening smoothly, guys. Your side and audio side. Yeah, fine. Everyone, please become serious. What is block commenting format problem and how to solve that problem? When we go for multi-line commenting, when we go for multi-line comment, go for multi-line commenting. Yes, boss. When we go for multi-line commenting, the code format will be disturbed, guys. The code format will be disturbed a lot. Okay. Disturbed a lot by default. And we need to change settings in the Eclipse to solve that problem. Okay, guys. To solve that problem. Okay. Yeah, what is the solution I have given, guys? Problem is not WebEx, guys. Problem is the connector. The connector is having issue. They're working on it. Please focus. Right. What is the procedure? Window menu. Window menu. Preferences. Be fast. Be fast. Tell me. Preferences. Search for formatter. Search for formatter. Tell me. What is there? Code style. Search for formatter. Code style. Formatter. new, what is the name of the profile? P1, expand comments. What guys? Comments. What is the one I have to, what is the one? One checkbox is there. That is the most important checkbox, right? Preferences. Formatter. Yeah. This is the checkbox now, boss. We got it. Yeah. Comments. We have to deselect this. Lots of people struggles by ignoring small pro setting. Yeah. Okay. Deselect this. What should I do? Deselect this. Deselect this. Apply. Okay. Done, boss. Everyone got the clarity about the block commenting and how to solve it? Okay, now let's come to our real discussion, boss. What is our real discussion now? Okay. If I configure, now I am commenting this. See, now when you comment, any disturbance in the code? No. So now I'm taking singleton class, guys. Real singleton class. I'm making it as what? At the rate scope. What is this? Prototype. At the rate scope prototype. Done, guys? Okay. Now tell me here, what is there? Go to the main class. Here is my what? Auto wiring test, boss. In this auto wiring test, what is the one we should take, guys? What is the one we should take, guys? CTX dot get pin, all this stuff. Auto wiring test. Come here. What is the story we are having, boss? How many objects are created? Prototype scope, but class is singleton class. But I think I have not tested properly. 1 minute. Come to main class now. Okay, let's comment this part. Where singleton class is in the picture, guys, at the top, right? At the top, singleton class in the picture or not, boss? Come to this. PRN1, PR2. What is the bean ID I have taken? Prototype PRN1. Just PRN, right? Okay. What's the prototype? What is the bean ID? PRN. PRN. Okay, PRN1, PRN2. Here, let's start the new comment. Okay, remaining everything is commented, guys, except printers class, right? Okay, now tell me, how many times I'm trying to get the object? 2 times. What is the scope? Prototype scope. Now tell me, how many objects will be created? 2 objects, but it is happily accessing to private constructor or not, guys? 215, 312. 215, 215, 312. That's it. Nothing else. Right, guys? Got the point, my dear. Come on. PRN1 double equal to PRN2. That is what? PRN1 double equal to PRN2. So 215 this one. So prototype scope is working. That means singleton is broken or not broken? No, sir, I'm very jiddy. I want to continue that. What should I do? I have to make IOC container creating object through factory method. But can we do when we have at the rate component annotation? No. Then what should I do now there? Okay, stop configuring singleton class as Spring Bean using what? At the rate component annotation. What should I do? In app config class, tell me here. You configure it as what? Spring Bean. Either 1 time or 10 times, I really don't bother, guys. Come on. Okay, one time or 10 times I really don't bother. I'm configuring it as a Spring Bean by using what? At the rate bean method. Internally I'm enabling what? Static factory method based bean instantiation or not? Internally I'm enabling what? Static factory method based bean instantiation or not? Okay, what is the bean ID? PRN1, PRN2. Go to auto wiring test. Here is my PRN1. Here is my PRN1. I'm also going to this place, guys. Come on. Here PRN2, PRN2. Here again I am removing, boss. But whatever the bean IDs I pass, those spring beans are configured using at the rate bean method. Inside the at the rate bean method, am I creating object using constructor? Or am I using object by using static factory method? Static method of print. What is the logic it is having? Checking null. If null, create object and return object. If already not null, what is there? Return the existing object. Now tell me, total how many times ctx.getBean method is called in the client? 4 times. All the 4 times, which method it try to use? Which method? At the rate bean method only, right guys? So now let's see guys. Static, see all the 4 times it will try to call that at the rate bean method. But all the 4 times what is executing? Static factory method. Anyhow, there we are taking care of single object creation. Click on it. Total how many times object is created guys? Only 1 time. See this? 29, 29, 29, 29. True, true. Okay. You observe printer class? Printer class constructor executed how many times? Only 1 time. That means only one object is created or not. What's the final conclusion? Conclusion is very simple. When you configure real singleton class as prototype scope Spring Bean, and if you allow container to access private constructor of singleton class and to create object, then singleton class behavior will be broken. Mercilessly broken. Why? IOC container is very rude of accessing private data and using it for object creation or for any other activities. Right, guys? Super. Next step. But if you enable static factory method based instantiation for singleton class, then singleton behavior will be continued. So when interviewer asks the question, is there any problem if I configure prototype real singleton class as prototype scope Spring Bean? Then you have to give two answers. Problem will be there if you enable constructor based object creation for IOC container. Problem will not be there if we enable static factory method based bean instantiation for IOC container. Generally, interviewer will not go that much depth. But if he has gone, then also you should be ready to answer. But at the end of the interview, right, guys? Where is prototype here, sir? We are using methods. 1 minute. Maybe he is not still convinced by saying we are not using prototype scope here. Yes, good question. At the rate prototype. Yes, that's a good question, no doubt. Prototype scope. Okay, good question. Sir, you forgot prototype scope mentioning and you are giving answer. Okay, now I kept it, boss. Now I kept it. Spell mistake. App config, guys. Prototype. Happy? Okay, prototype. Nice. Okay. Yeah, then also you observe, guys. 80, 80, 80, 80. Earlier what? They are singleton. Objects are created. Only one object created during server startup, right, guys? I mean to say container creation. Now what happened? What happened? Four times get bean method called. Four times these at the rate bean methods are called, right, guys? But everywhere we are using static factory method, na, in which a singleton logic is there. That's why only one object will be created, and that will be used again and again or not. Come on, my dear, got the point? See, create printer 1, printer 2, printer 2. But in all this time, how many objects are created for printer? One. Okay, you try to access multiple time also, same object hash code is printed. Right. Now look at the answer, guys. These are the tricky questions. These are the tricky questions. Yeah. What happens if we configure real singleton Java class as the prototype scope Spring Bean? If IOC container is creating singleton Java class object by accessing private constructor, then prototype scope will be continued, boss. Yeah. That means more objects will be created. That means IOC container creates multiple objects for multiple ctx.get method call. That means singleton Java class will be broken. Broken means the behavior is broken, guys. Here is the code. Right, boss? Okay. This is the code. Same code. What I have done. Okay. If we enable, what guys? If we enable static factory method based Spring Bean class, static factory method based Spring Bean class instantiation for the same real time what guys class that is having what guys prototype scope what guys prototype scope then then uh then 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 only one object will be created by continuing what guys by continuing what scope singleton Java class behavior I hope you totally convinced on this point, guys. Okay. Singleton Java class behavior. Yeah, look at the code. This time what happened? Enabled static factory method bean instantiation for singleton. Same PRN1. But what it will say? Gives the same hash code because singleton class is getting instantiated through what? Static factory method where singleton logic is available. Next one is what guys? Since you are configuring printer class as Spring Bean class using @bean method, so comment component annotation in the printer class. Okay, that is small suggestion, guys. While feeling the practical, if we keep component bean, both are meaningless, right, guys? Super. Okay, now listen. So few more corner questions, guys. Can we keep private constructor in Spring Bean Java class? Yes or no? Na? Happily, boss. I already proved, and today also we proved it. It got proved. It happily access private constructor using reflection API. Who? IOC container. happily creates the object and enjoys it. Yes, we can keep because IOC container can access the private constructor while creating the object. Okay, guys. Can we take Spring Bean class as what? Private class. Don't look at the answer and tell me the answer. First of all, in Java, private classes are possible. Private outer classes are possible. Only inner classes are possible. That's why it's meaningless to think about that. First of all, okay. ఆ రూమ్ ఇది కూడా లూజ్ ఉంది కొద్దిగా. ఓకే ఓకే. Yeah, I think there are two announcements which are quite important. Today I think Naresh IT Ganesh Idle immersion process is going to be started. So that's why they are offering lunch for students and entire employees. Okay. Uh, okay. Interesting is these people are not asking where is the place, but online students are asking where is the. Okay. Fine. Right. Place, I think you know, new building of Naresh IT, which is there in new campus here on. అదే కదా ధర్మకరం రోడ్డే కదా. Okay, new building, new campus. I think what do you say that Dharamkaram Road building, new campus, yeah, new campus which is nearer to that Dharamkaram Road. Okay, fine. So timing after your class, right? Only for today, please. Okay, thank you. And one more thing, tomorrow onwards our room will be that room. I think here some amplifier issue is there. What about online students? Don't worry. I will provide prasadam for you by teaching one extra topic. Okay, which is not there in the syllabus. That's what I can do because you are listening classes virtually. My prasadam will be virtual only. Okay, let it be. Can we go back, guys? Yeah. Can we take Spring Bean class as what? Private Java class, guys. No, we cannot take outer classes as what? Private classes. And we cannot think about taking Spring Bean classes as what? Private classes. Super. Next. If we don't provide Bean ID to the Spring Bean class, what happens? I think lots of people asked me this question, and for few people already have given answer also. Tell me what happens? It will take class name as the default Bean ID having first letter in lowercase. Sir, why it is not taking first letter in uppercase, sir? Simple reason, it will disturb the class name, that's why. If a first letter is uppercase letter by following Java convention, and it will may disturb the process, right guys? Okay. IOC container generates default bean IDs to the Spring Bean class based on the approach that we have used to configure the Spring Bean class. Listen, if it is configured by using @component class name as the bean ID, having first letter in lowercase. Suppose if we configure same class or other class as Spring Bean using @bean method, then method name becomes bean ID. What guys? Method name. We are writing in a create printer 1, create printer 2, create date, create L time, create L date. Come on. If you don't provide the bean ID in @bean annotation, what happens guys? The method name becomes the default bean ID. Are you getting my point there guys? Come on. Super guys. What if you are getting other name? Array, you know the English meaning of default? And if you know the English meaning of default, then you don't ask this question. What if you give other name? And when you give other name means you are given the name, then why default will be there in the picture? Must learn English, worst fellows. Someone is asking me, if I give other name, what happens? Already you have given bean ID, right? Why default will be there in the picture? Default will be there in the picture when nothing is given. Okay, I will tell one simple example. Int A in a stance variable. What's the default value? Ness. Int A is equal to 20. What is the default value? 0 na. When you give 20 as the initial value, why default value will be there in the picture? Default comes into picture when nothing is configured. When something is configured, default will not be there in the picture. Are you getting my point, boss? Super, right? No value, default. Something is given, default disappears. Already something is given, na? You keep parameterized or user defined constructor in your Java class. Do you think default zero param constructor comes? When you don't place any constructor, then only. Okay, I'll tell one more example. No superclass, object is the default superclass. You kept some superclass, object still will be there. Huh? If object still is there, means Java is supporting multiple inheritance. That's wrong, na? Okay, guys. Return type is class. So bean class return type name. Sorry, boss, I said method name, not the return type name. Where the hell you are listening, man? Okay, let's see the practicals at least now. Okay. I'm going to both places, guys. I'm going to both places. Not the printer. Let's not disturb the printer now. Printer is a tricky class somehow. No bean ID. Only at the rate component. Only at the rate component. Super. Config, guys. No bean ID. Only at the rate B. Only at the rate B. Only at the rate bin. Okay, now people ask me question. Sir, if I take two methods having same name, can you take two methods having same name in one class? Generally, how many configuration classes you will take? So that possibility is very, very less, right? Bin methods and accessing printer class instance. Okay, who is that non-sync fellow all of a sudden? Yeah, now I'm commenting this printer part, guys. Commented everything. I just enabled. I want to give the feeling default bean IDs are coming or not. Other day I have given provision of printing all bean definition names, nothing but bean IDs. Look at this method, my dear. CTX dot get bean definition count. It will give automatically generated bean user defined beans count. It will give or not. What about this? Get bean definition names. Get bean definition names. Are you getting my point there, guys? Super. Okay. At the rate auto white test, guys, run as Java application. What application, guys? Java application. Tell me here. Last part, count is, I think 10 has come. Why 10? In at the rate, in configuration class 4 are there, right? Which message generator? Which message generator? Okay, anyhow, you'll see the count here now, what they are. First one, annotation processor, leave it. Second one, internal auto void annotation processor. Third one, event listener processor. Fourth one, event listener factory. This is my configuration class default bean ID. App config class name a small letter. Which message generator default bean ID? W capital small letter first letter, right? Next one, create create L time, L date, PRN1, PRN2. PRN1, PR2, L2 is given bean IDs, but this create L time is the method name na boss. That means default bean ID is working or not working? Okay, how can I believe that you are right, sir? 1 minute. Don't believe me, believe my practicals. Okay, na? Then your subject will improve, boss. Super. Okay, tell me, which message generator 1 is equal to ctx dot get bean. Come on. Yeah, I'm passing class name as the bean ID, W small letter. Did you notice that? Second one is dot class file. Dot class file or dot class property. So how can you say this object is created and working? Guys, sys out generator one dot. What is there? Say hello. Not say hello. What is that? Generate message. This method is called means this definitely generator one is pointing to object na boss. If object is not created, generator is the reference variable holds null. When null is there, if you call the method, you will get null pointer exception. But am I going to get null pointer exception here? Okay, next one. Local time. Local time is equal to ctx dot get bin. Come on, guys. Tell me what is there, guys. L time. Here is my local time dot class. Here is my local time dot class. This is my time na boss. I want reply, my dear. Come on. Auto void test dot Java. What dot Java, guys? Auto void test dot Java. I think this colon is extra. If I remove the colon, problem is solved. Auto void test, guys. Here is the story. No bean named L time is available because I removed that bean ID, na. So then what happens? Default bean ID will be generated or not? Local time. 1 minute. What is the method name, guys? Sorry. What is the method name? Create L time. As it is method name, guys. Nothing extra, nothing less. What is that? Create L time. Got it, boss? Okay. Auto wiring test. Yes, we are getting that one or not, boss? Here, good morning result. Here, current time is coming. 12:14:57 coming or not coming? Generally, it is not recommended to give default bean ID. It is recommended to work with default bean ID. This is again for interview sake, I covered it. This is again I covered for what? Interviews. Right. Okay, guys. Now listen. No anonymous spring beans in what? No anonymous spring beans in spring. Why? If you don't give bean ID, also default bean ID is coming. That's why. Can I say there are anonymous spring beans in spring, guys? In Java, anonymous objects are there. Object without having name. Yes or no? Na? Anonymous classes are there. Object class without having name. But anonymous spring beans are there in Spring, boss. Because default bean ID is coming into picture. Right, guys? Super. If Java class is configured as the Spring Bean using @component, then the default bean ID is class name having first letter in lowercase. Done? Okay, guys. Default bean ID is create LDT, nothing but method name. Nothing but what, guys? Method name. Convinced or not? Okay. And this is our today's discussion, guys. Okay. What is our one more observation we did now? The observation that we did here is this one. What is that, boss? Guys, there are anonymous objects, right? Guys, A and O, anonymous objects and classes in Java program. That means we can take any while Lana. I think the device let it seems. Okay, back boss. Why is back? Why is back? Okay, that means come on guys. We can take object without name and a class without name. In Spring programming, what guys? A and O. Anonymous, what guys? Anonymous Spring Bean is not there because, tell me, because every Spring Bean will get one default bean ID, though bean ID is not given. Though bean ID is not given. Though bean ID is not given. Okay, first of all, tell me, my dear, this is new test of. Your object is created, but is there any reference variable pointing to that object? Can I say it's an anonymous object, guys? Can I say it's an anonymous object, boss? Come on. Okay, guys. Now tell me. Okay. So whenever we deal with inner classes, sometimes we go for anonymous inner classes, now boss. Sometimes there is a possibility of dealing with anonymous inner classes or normal class as what? Anonymous class. Okay, which situation I should tell? Which situation? Runnable interface run method is what? Runnable interface run method is what, guys? Huh? Abstract. Run functional interface because it is having one method declaration, right? Then what we can do? Runnable. Runnable R is equal to. Right now my target is not anonymous object. My target is anonymous class. Got it? New runnable of. Come on. New runnable of bracket opening and closing. It looks like I am creating object for interface, right? If you think like that, you are zero in core Java. Are black shirt wala. You have a nice mobile. I appreciate. Can listen the class. Okay. Runnable R is equal to new runnable. Understanding? By seeing new here, runnable here, and they don't go to end and they say creating object for interface. Hey, who said Java cannot create object for interfaces? Are a dirty fellow, you are seeing new and what? A runnable only. Is there any semicolon here? What is there? Flower bracket is there. That means something is defined now. What is that something is defined? Anonymous class implementing runnable interface. Here, anonymous class implementing runnable interface is there. Now tell me, object is created for what? Interface or that anonymous class? Suparna? You studied all these things in core Java, right? Are Rakesh Kumar, where is deadlock? Deadlock is different, Babu. You are dying from that time. Deadlock. Catty fellow. Okay. Public void run method, right, boss? You are going to write some logic here. End of the method, end of the class definition. End of the class definition or not, guys? Tell me this. What is this? Here, total three things happened, boss. Number one, Anonymous class is created implementing runnable interface. Number two, inside that class, run method is defined. Number three, object is created for anonymous class and that object is referred by runnable interface reference variable. After all, interface reference variable can refer one of its implementation class object or not. Interface reference variable can refer its implementation class object or not. Okay, I'm giving more elaborated break point. Four things happen. Number one, an anonymous class is created implementing runnable interface. Number two, inside that class, run method is implemented. Number three, object is created for anonymous class. Number four, that object is referred by runnable interface reference variable. After all, interface reference variable can refer its implementation class object or not, guys. Such anonymous bean is possible, guys. Bean without ID, bean without name is possible, because default bean ID is coming into picture or not. Okay. Spring bean is identified with bean ID. Can we see any spring bean without bean ID? No. That's why, is there any chance of anonymous spring bean? That's a new terminology if someone creates also. Such wording is not there as of now. At least you understood why that wording is not there. Okay, guys. Though you make anonymous class as spring bean, that also will have a bean ID. Because to keep this logic, somewhere you take @bean method. That bean method name becomes what? Bean ID. Yes or no? Na? Okay. Number one, an anonymous ANONY anonymous class is created implementing what, guys? Runnable interface. When I used to take interview for the student, this used to be my funniest line to write on the paper and to ask, can we create object for interface or not? By seeing new and runnable, they used to say, no sir, we can create object for an interface. Then I say tata bye bye, because there's no need of, see, by seeing one line he is changing his opinion on Java. It's meaningless, right? Okay. So there are some interviews, they are very tricky people. They will make you to give bold statements about the subject. For which in Java, for how many things we cannot create object. You will say abstract class interface. Then they will write this line. Here what's happening? If you know subject, you will answer. If you don't know subject, it looks like what? You are creating object for runnable interface. That means you are contradicting your own statement. If you know subject, you will say your object is not created for what? Interface. If you don't know subject, what happen? You are forced to agree object is created for runnable interface. 1 minute back, what you have given? Object not possible for interface. Then what you will say? If you are a big thinking person or okay, intelligent fellow, you will say 1 to exceptional cases are there, sir. Again, booked. Yes or no? Na? If you don't know subject, you will keep silent. Or you know you want to rotate the brain of interview, you will do one more mistake. What is that? 1 to exceptional cases are there where object can be created for interface. These are the kind of answers I got. That's why I'm sharing with you. But the actual story is different, and that points only I am giving here. Whatever you do, you reverse your head, then also object creation is not possible for two things in Java. What is that? Interface abstract. Instantiation is not possible for two things. Whatever look like we are creating object for abstract class or what? Interface. They are illusions. Actually, you are not creating objects for what? Interface or abstract class. For abstract class, when it comes to abstract class, for subclass of abstract class you are creating. For interface, for implementation class you are creating. Clear, my dear? An anonymous class is created implementing runnable interface. In that anonymous class, what is there? Interface is implement. What interface? Runnable interface is implemented. Come on, guys. Number C. In that anonymous class, what guys? In that anonymous class, in that anonymous class, what is there? Run method is implemented. Are you getting my point there or not? D. Run method is implemented. Okay, next one is what, guys? Run method is implemented. Super. After that, what next, guys? After that, in that anonymous class, run method is implemented. Okay, lastly, runnable interface, reference variable. What variable? Reference variable. Hmm. Is referring to what is that? 1 minute, 1 minute. In that, I think 1 minute. An anonymous runner class is implementing runnable interface. That's okay. That's perfect. B. In that anonymous class, a run method is implemented. Number 3, object is created for the anonymous class. Anonymous class. Number 3, runnable interface reference variable is referring the runnable interface reference variable is referring the, come on guy, ANONY, anonymous. So, anonymous class object referring that anonymous class object. Yeah. Now listen. Let's do some more improvisation. Runnable is a functional interface or non-functional interface? Runnable is a functional interface because it is having only one method declaration, directly or indirectly. Directly or in. What do you mean by indirectly, guys? As a inherited methods also, second method is not there. As a inherited also, there is no count for second method, right? Directly or indirectly, if you look at the inherited methods also, there is no second method at all. So, runnable is a functional interface because interface having single method declaration. Okay. Single method declaration. Directly or indirectly. Directly or what? Indirectly. Interface having single method declaration directly or what? Indirectly. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Runnable is a functional interface because it is having only one method declaration, either directly or indirect. Interface having single method declaration directly or what? Indirectly. Okay. Whenever we are having functional interface, we can bring lambda expressions into picture. Java 8 feature boss. Lambda expressions are shortcuts for implementing interface. Shortcuts for implementing interface, especially functional interface. Lambda expressions provide shortcut code mm, for implementing functional interface. For functional, only functional, not for every interface. Can we use lambda expression for non-functional interfaces? That's why from Java 8 onwards, interface with one method declaration has got special identity. Otherwise, earlier no special identity for interface with one method declaration. Because of lambdas, interface with a single method declaration has got special identity and special treatment, guys. Lambda expressions provide shortcut code for implementing. Okay, functional. Tell me here, first, what is there? Runnable R is equal to. You need not to do anything, boss. Directly go to implementation. What is that method? That's it. Go to method directly. No worry, class is, don't worry about that. Go to method parameter. No parameters now. That's why take empty one. Lambda symbol. Right, guys? Write the logic. Yeah. Performs all the above four operations, guys. Performs all the above four operations. We are getting shortcut for that purpose. Are you going to enjoy the shortcut of that app? Come on. So this is lambda expression based implementation class development for what is that? Functional interface. Functional interface. Only for functional interface we can apply. Guys, can I give one assignment? It's not coding related. It is a concept related. Are you ready? Okay, so listen. Again, this lambda. I'm typing in that. I have 10 spring weeks, right? How many? Okay. I want to see previous tense iterations only for 5 spring weeks. Only for 5 spring weeks. Only for 5 spring weeks. Can you tell me what to do? Can you tell me what to do? Okay, this is the assignment. Try to work out it. Tomorrow we will see. The assignment is work out guys. Tomorrow we will see what. Right? Next. Thank you guys. Have a nice time. We meet tomorrow. I didn't have to upload the notes up. Let me upload the notes in 1 minute. 7 a.m. What's your batch code, guys? Stage one, right? Screen upload module, right click, file upload, personal dashboard. It's 1102, right? Screen 4. Where is this 16th one? Let me save the last. Tomorrow is not already tomorrow is one. Thank you. User input that API, use wireless MAC as in case of there is no noise. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do, guys. What we can do, some constant charting.
एट द रेट से कुछ जब बना रहे हैं एट द रेट से बाय डिफॉल्ट और मेथड नेम को लेता है अगर अगर मेथड ओवरराइड ओवरलोडिंग का फंक्शन है
And we can do methods this way.
और ऐसा कोई डिफरेंट पैरामीटर्स वी कैन टेक नाउ ओवरलोडिंग सर ओवरलोडिंग में फिर क्या लेगा
Overloading. Continue to enter into inventory parameters. What do you
सर इफ
नहीं में default वो जीरो में just करते हैं और then we and you have to wait until it will get without any security when the particular complications. Is there any way to handle the situation? Except Parmital will get it to you. You don't want to apply security on Parmital is the only solution. Parmital is the only solution. Anything.
meeting.